Hola, Van, how are you?
Hola Mara, I am well. ¿Cómo está?
Muy bien. So in this class, we're going to do a review and also for our YouTubers to watch as well, a review of the all the preterite and how to use it in a conversation. Okay, so in the past tense. So as we saw with the YouTubers and you too, and I did here like a review of all the past tense verbs that we saw and the endings, right? So let's do a little bit review together before I teach you how to ask the questions and the 4 type of questions, and we're gonna use these verbs, okay? So which I will share with you as well. This one and one. You should be able to also if you need to access to it. Okay, so as we saw in the past tense regulars, remember, so the endings in AR was right, haste, yo, amos, and aro, right? Trabajé, trabajaste, trabajamos, and trabajaron. And then the ER and the IR were the same. So it's iste, o, imos, yeron, and iste, o, imos, yeron. So those were the regulars. So then we saw the past stem changing verbs, which basically, remember that it changes in the third person only, not like the present tense, that it changed all of them. So, and the most important ones is the ones that I put in here, and always, and also these ones, E to I in the third person. There were the 2 of them. So in these ones, in dormir, which means to sleep, right? In dormir, we saw dormir, so this is all regular except for the third person. Remember, durmió, and then durmieron, which changes O to U. And the same happens in morir, which is to die, murió, y murieron. But I feel like in your level, we're going to see more dormir, right? Slept. Then in the third person, that it changes E to I, it was pedir. What do you mean pedir, remember?
To be able to.
No, that's poder. It was to ask for.
To ask for.
To ask for. Yeah, most people confuse it with poder. Poder is this one. Poder, which is to be able to, you see? But this is pedir, see? Pedir.
Gotcha.
So pedir is to ask for. Okay, and the particularity that it has pedir is that it changes right in the third person here, E to I. So yo pedí, pediste, but the third person is pidió, and then pidieron, right? And then you have the same to servir. What does it mean, servir? How does it sound like it?
It's a serve, yeah, okay. I thought it was a trick question.
Sounds like that. Servir, to serve.
To serve.
And then sugerir.
To suggest.
Suggest, very good. See the hardest one, to suggest. And then preferir.
To prefer.
Prefer, very good, to prefer. And in all these cases, that's what I mark it, because I feel that those are the most important ones to know, is that you see that in the third person, it changes E to I, right? Servir, E to I. Sugerir, sugirió, right? Sugirió. Okay, and then prefirió, right? Prefirió in the third person. I'm being fast because this is just a review. And then completely irregulars. We have dar, which means to
give.
Bien. And then ir means to go, and be to be, right? So in this case, it was irregular. Why? Because the stem is the same, but the ending, it has the same ending like what? Like the ER verbs.
Like the ER, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it was irregular. And this one, because it changes completely. And in this one, anyways, we're seeing more ir to go than to be, because to be we use it more with another preterite that is not in this level, which is era. So, and we're gonna see more as I went instead of fui, like to be somewhere, instead of I was.
Mm-hmm.
Then the rest of the irregulars, they were called the same way because they all have the same endings. And between them, they have subgroups, remember? So in the subgroups, in this case, they have the UV in common, right? Andar, remember, estar, y tener. Tener means to. Yo tengo un perro.
To have.
To have. And then, well, start to be, but in a location or state of mind. And then andar is to stroll or to wander around. To wander. No, sorry, to wander, right? Wander.
Yeah.
Wander, it's like, okay. So then you have the subgroup UP. Remember to know, saber, or caber, cupe. And then you have the subgroup that it has the I in common, hacer, querer, y venir, right? Which they only have the I in common. You see, hice, hiciste, hizo, quise, quisiste, quiso, quisimos, quisieron, to want, and venir is to come, vine, I came, right? Or quise, to want, and hacer, to do. So for example, remember, yo hice ejercicio. I did exercise, I work out.
Mm-hmm.
En venir, yo quise, sorry, querer, yo quise, I wanted, I don't know, yo quise viajar, I wanted to travel or something. Y venir, remember, you have to be in the spot. For example, yo vine a mi casa because I am home. But I cannot say yo vine a tu casa, you know, because yo fui a tu casa. Pero yo vine
right.
because I'm here, right? So es yo fui a tu casa y yo vine a mi casa, and because I am here, right? At my house. Okay. Fui a tu casa, I am not in your house. Not in your house. Bueno, muy bien. And then the other subgroup in common was poder. Remember this one, yes, means to be able to. Poder, yo pude, is like I could or I was able to. So, por ejemplo, yo pude terminar mi tarea. I could finish my homework or something. Then puse, and then, well, tuve, we already saw it, which is tener. Puse is to put, right? Then pude is I was able to. Then we saw all the verbs that ends in CIR, which if they end in CIR, it changes to J. So for example, dije, dijiste, dijo, dijimos, dijeron. Then conduje, conduje, condujiste, condujimos, y condujeron. Which decir is to say. I want you to focus on these two verbs anyways. Conducir was to, another way of saying to drive. Do you remember we have manejar too? To drive. So conducir that, y decir is to say, or to tell sometimes it means. Then all the verbs ending in aer, which the only one that I want you to worry about is to bring, which means traer is to bring. So I brought, for example, yo traje agua a la clase. I brought water to the class, whatever. Okay, so being said that, these are all the types. So in your notes, what I'm gonna do is like the 4 type of verbs in the past that you can do. So the first one that we saw, it was what I call, I don't know if it has like a name, but it's the yes or no questions or a statement. You remember a statement can be a question in Spanish, or the yes or no. In English, you call it yes or no question. So for example, in this case, I'm gonna grab one of our verbs, and it was, for example, I don't know, let's start easy. Trabajar, right? So it's a yes or no question. So in Spanish, let's say I know you work today. So, tú trabajaste hoy, right? This is an statement because I know you work today, right? And then, tú trabajaste, I'm gonna change it to the Spanish keyword. So to, you see, if I put these question marks, that's why we put double, because that way we can know it's a question and not a statement. So, ¿tú trabajaste hoy? This is a question. So, and also change the intonation. So, can you follow me? So, ¿tú trabajaste hoy?
¿Tú trabajaste hoy?
Muy bien. Or, ¿tú trabajaste hoy?
¿Tú trabajaste hoy?
Exactly. You see how it changed the intonation. In Spanish, it's only by intonation. And in English, you say you have to put did you, right? But we don't have to put the did you. It's like you work today, right? It's like saying you work today, right? Okay. And that's the difference between English and Spanish. And this is the yes or no, right, questions. That's the first type. The second type is what in English you call the WH questions or W questions. Two W questions like what, right? Who, where, when, and then you have other that is no W, how. So what, how you say what?
Okay.
Okay, muy bien. And then whatever you want to ask. And then how you say who?
¿Quién?
Muy bien, quién. Then how you say where?
¿Dónde?
Muy bien, dónde. When?
¿Cuándo?
No, muy bien.
¿Cuántas? ¿Cuándo? Okay.
¿Cuántas is how many?
How many? Yeah.
¿Cuántas o cuántos? Depending if it's feminine or masculine. ¿Cuántos o cuántas? And then how is como.
¿Cómo?
Yeah. Well, you have also por qué, right? Which means por qué.
Why?
Yeah. Why? Por qué. Okay. So, por qué. And this is also easy. You just decide how to ask. For example, I don't know, I'm going to start very basic, the type of question. So, for example, with cuándo. So, you see, I can ask you, ¿cuándo trabajaste? Right? When, in English, we say, when did you work? But we just say, when you worked. You don't have to say the whole thing. When you worked. And then you can say, I work today. How you say that? So,
Yo trabajaste hoy.
Okay, why this is wrong?
Trabajé, sorry.
Muy bien. Yo trabajé hoy, right? That will be the answer, like in this time. I work today, right? Very good. And then, of course, we can ask another variances. ¿Dónde trabajaste hoy? Like a follow-up question. So, yo
trabajé hotel.
Muy bien. In your case, it's en el hotel, because most people are working from home now. So,
Yeah.
Yo trabajé en mi casa, but now you can say because you work in a hotel, so yo trabajé en el hotel. Very good. So the third type of question that we saw is have you ever. I mean, there's no order in the type of questions, it's whatever, but I'm just alguna vez, like the drinking game, right? Have you ever? Alguna vez. Have you ever? Alguna vez. So this one is easy. Alguna vez is like, for example, I can ask you, alguna vez, which is have you ever, alguna vez, por ejemplo, the two is not necessary to put here, but I put in just for like a guidance. Alguna vez tú trabajaste, no sé, en, let's say, en otro país. O ciudad, let's say ciudad, city. So meaning, have you ever worked in another city? So, entonces, a ver, Van, ¿alguna vez trabajaste en otra ciudad es femenino? ¿Alguna vez trabajaste en otra ciudad?
Sí, yo trabajé en Huntington, West Virginia.
Muy bien. Entonces, yo trabajé en Huntington, let's say in West Virginia.
What's it? Okay.
Cuando, yeah, was with him, whatever. So, muy bien. Trabajé, muy bien. Entonces, alguna vez. And then the fourth time, bueno, and this is yes, because you say, have you ever? So you say, sí, right? Yo trabajé.
Mhm.
Or no, let's say you never work in another city. So yo nunca, right, trabajé en otra ciudad. Like I never worked in another city. So nunca trabajé en otra ciudad. Very good. Now, the fourth that we see, fourth, is when was the last time? So, ¿cuándo fue la última vez que? Meaning, when was the last time that? And the way to answer this, I'm giving you the beginning, the stem. So the last time, la última vez que, and then, I don't know, trabajé, or whatever you want to say, yo trabajé, or comí, whatever the answer is. Fue, which means was, right? And then do you remember we have our markers of time? We can be hace, right? Hace, what does it mean, hace? Was ago.
In the past, ago.
So for example, I don't know, fue hace 2 semanas, like 2 weeks ago. Hace 2 semanas, so 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. And then, or we say, for example, ayer, what does it mean ayer?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. Yesterday. And then, how do you say last weekend?
Fin de semana.
El fin de semana pasado.
Pasado. There it is. Fin de semana pasado.
Muy bien. El fin de semana, the past week, el fin de semana pasado. Or you can say la semana pasada, right? Will be last week.
Okay.
Right? Or you can say en anoche, which means last night.
Last night.
Okay, those are some of the markers of time that are important. Okay, entonces, now, being said this, now let's grab, you see, we saw, and let me hide this second. We saw all these type of verbs. So what I always do with my students and what I recommend with you, so we can do this one. So dormir. So I do always the list with the verbs that I want to work with, right? So a list. Well, obviously with the regulars, it's like a longer list. So, but let's do the regulars. And then if you wanna ask something with regular, it's fine. But so we have, right? Dormir, we said, and then we said pedir, servir, sugerir, y preferir. Pedir. Do you have here? Yes. Can you put the meaning with me here? You put the meaning right
Yeah.
next. Thank you. So pedir, and then we have sugerir, preferir, servir, all those changes in each in the third person, and then you have dar and ir. I want to focus on dar, ir, and then andar, estar, and tener. Andar, estar, and tener. Pedir was to ask for.
Thank you.
You don't like that one, huh?
I'd already forgotten again.
And then saber and caber. And then we move hacer, querer, y venir. And then poder, poner. Poder, poner. And then decir, conducir, y traer. So for you and for everybody that is watching, and I would recommend to study these ones, especially in your levels. These are the most important ones, like in the irregulars. Of course, there exist another ones, but for now, since there are many of them. So saber is to know, y caber is to fit. Y venir, to come, come. So these one are the ones that you had to study because you forgot. Venir,
Yes. I
acerca,
need to write these down.
and pedir, yeah. Yeah, there are many, so. But at least focus, you see, this is good to do. You focus on the ones you forgot. Then
Yeah.
poner is to put. Decir, to say or to tell.
Oh, then I put dar is incorrect up there.
Yeah, they could be confusing. Dar is to give.
All right.
And traer is to bring. So yeah, so I'm putting this in yellow for you to remember. And the same for everybody that was in. You have to just, maybe you can put them in a flashcard, either in a phone or in a, like old school, like in a real flashcard, like in a, so, I know, sorry. And that
I will make sheets for myself of verbs and highlight them like this to remind me to
exactly.
practice them.
So that also, I think it was yours. Okay, one. Now also we have to remember how to conjugate in order to ask the questions, right? First, I'm gonna start asking you the questions with different of these verbs, and then you're gonna invent some of them for me. Okay, entonces, so we can practice. Also, one more thing, these ones, and I always add at the end how you can use them, right? So let me move on to the ones that are more important that I remember that has different uses sometimes in English, okay? So that's what I call uses, or how to use the verb, how to use the verb. Because sometimes it doesn't really translate literally. So for example, tener. Tener, yes, means to have. You can have a dog or stuff, right? That is normal, but then we also have different things that you don't say I have. For example, in English, you don't have ears, right? You have, we have years in Spanish. So it's tener, so años. So for example, tengo 32 años, whatever. And then this in English is I am 32, but this is I have 32. So you have years, and then you also can have frío, which means cold, calor, which means hot. So tengo calor, tengo frío. Or hambre, right, means hungry. I am hungry. Or also could be ganas, which I feel like doing something. Por ejemplo, tengo ganas de comer helado. Whatever. Tengo ganas de comer una hamburguesa. I feel like eating a burger or something. And then tengo ganas de, you always use, plus a verb in infinitive. Then tengo hambre, calor, frío, tengo miedo. If I am, I don't know how you say that, I'm fearful. I know that you don't use it that way, but it's like tengo miedo de, I'm fearful of spiders, for example. Tengo miedo de arañas, whatever. Well, then if I think in another one, but you see it has many, you know, other uses that you don't use this, you know. Then let's do pedir. Pedir means to ask for, but also means to or to order. So for example, if I say yo, por ejemplo, yo pedí una hamburguesa en, no sé, en el restaurante. Sorry, my sorry. Felita, stop it. Come here. Okay.
Pepito tiene fear. Where'd it go? Miedo.
Sí, él es muy tontito. Ok, entonces, pedí una hamburguesa en el restaurante also means like I order, so also means to order, besides ask for. Of course, you can ask for stuff too, it's like pedí dinero, right? Like I ask for money. Mm-hmm. Okay, then the other thing that might be different, andar. Andar is to wander or to stroll. And you always use it with por. So, por ejemplo, andar por, to stroll, to walk around. Entonces, es andar por. For example, yo anduve por mi barrio, which is neighborhood. Or vecindario, some people say. Vecindario. Okay, so I walk around my neighborhood, stroll, And then another thing that I'm thinking that could be different is poner. Poner, it could be also, for example, poner música. What would be in English would be to put on, right? Music, I don't know. This comes because back in the time, remember, you don't play music, you used to put the record on. Yeah. That's what it comes from, to put on music, literally on the record. So that's why we also say to play. Well, for now, that's okay. So, entonces, I'm going to ask you some of these questions that I can think of with this type. Entonces, por ejemplo, con ir, por ejemplo, ¿cuándo fue la última vez que fuiste a un restaurante?
La última vez que fui, yo fui a un restaurante fue anoche.
Yeah, anoche, last night. Okay, you see, and then I can do something that I like to help my students, and it's like to do follow-up questions, like, because generally we have a conversation about this. It's not that, oh, okay, anoche. So I'll ask you, maybe like a friend will ask you, oh, ¿dónde fuiste, ¿Dónde fuiste? O a qué restaurante, right? Or, yeah.
Yo fui a Elaine's Café.
Sí, muy bien. Arlene's Café. Oh, qué bueno. You see, like I'm inventing. Qué bueno. ¿Y cómo estuvo? You see? So now I'm combining different of the questions in one conversation. So, ¿cómo estuvo? Is like, you say in English, how was it? Right? ¿Cómo estuvo? How was it? And I'm saying estuvo, like no como fue, because estuvo is like the food, like a state. How was it? Like, estuvo like buena, mala,
Buena.
Estuvo.
Would it be estuve?
La comida, por ejemplo, estuvo buena. La comida estuvo buena. But el restaurante, if you want to talk about the restaurant, because the food is like, in what state was the food kind of, right? Was it good or not? But if it's about the restaurant, por ejemplo, el restaurante like, es bueno, or fue bueno, right? Was good. Is the characteristic of the restaurant, a good restaurant. Después, can you see where I'm going? Like, in order to make the conversation, like, always do like follow up. Oh, ¿cómo? ¿Entiendes? Let's do one more, and then you can do it yourself. And por ejemplo, okay, for example, dormir. In this case, since it's yourself, you remember that it changes in the third person, right? Since it's yourself, it's gonna be regular, so dormiste, okay? But for example, do you remember how many? So cuántas, in this case, horas is femenino, that's what I'm putting like this. ¿Cuántas horas dormiste ayer o anoche, right? Could be anoche, last night.
Yo dormí hace, no, hace.
No, just the hours, the amount of hours.
Yo dormí 8 horas.
Horas is hours. Oh, qué bueno. Y por ejemplo, let me see, like, now I'm asking you, I know they're silly questions, but it's to practice. So, ¿cuántas horas durmió tu esposa? You see, durmió because it's ella. So, ella.
Ella dormió 9 horas.
Wow. Ella duerme muy bien. She sleeps very well.
I wake up. How ¿cómo se dice wake up?
Ella se despertó.
Before her.
You mean?
Yeah.
Entonces yo me desperté. Me desperté antes. Before. Me desperté antes. Muy bien. Entonces, okay, I'm going to think about a question, but you think in the meantime. So the first one that thinks in one, like you said it, okay? I have a question. So, ¿qué hiciste? This is a very common question. ¿Qué hiciste el fin de semana pasado? Meaning, what did you do last weekend? What you did, actually, last literal translation. Then you don't have to answer with hiciste. You can answer anything that you did last weekend.
To go. Or I mean, to go. Yo.
The past tense of to go.
Yeah, I guess we. So nosotros. I'm having trouble remembering this.
Yeah, I put it in here. I don't remember. Complete irregulars. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, nosotros fuimos. I guess nosotros fuimos apple orchard.
Oh, like apple picking?
Yeah, sí.
This is a very American thing. So it's very difficult to, to come up with it. Fuimos a recoger.
You could say we went to a farm.
Yeah, yes. Fuimos a una granja. A recoger is to pick up, okay? A recoger, to pick up. A recoger manzanas. I mean, now that I'm living in the US, I mean, I can see it, I see people and what is it about. But if you say, fuimos a recoger to pick up apples, they'll say, it's like, it's not an activity very common,
Right. Is there an equivalent to like, in English, we'd say to glean apples. Is there an equivalent to that?
What?
No. To glean apples.
Limpiar, you mean?
Glean, GL.
I don't know, glean like this
Yeah. EAN.
in Spanish, maybe, but espigar. Yeah, I never heard that word. Recoger, you see what I mean? Recoger.
Yeah.
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 It was recoger more. I didn't know that word. Bueno, muy bien. ¿Qué hiciste el fin de semana pasado? Okay, what did you do? Pues fuimos a una granja a recoger manzanas. Okay. Now your turn. Oh, you need to learn, remember the past tense of ir.
Yes, fuimos. Nosotros fuimos. ¿Preferiste café o jugar de naranja por desayuno?
O jugo de naranja. En el desayuno. Oh, yo preferí jugo de pomelo. You know, mis pomelo, grapes.
Ah, ¿en serio?
Grapefruit. Sorry.
Oh,
No grape.
that's different.
Es diferente. Grapefruit. Pomelo es grapefruit, yeah. No de naranja. Okay.
To bebe pomelo. Yeah, yeah.
The past tense is bebiste, remember?
Bebiste. Yeah, my question was like, do you drink it every morning? But
How old to bebe?
That's not past tense. Yeah.
Bebes cada mañana.
Cada mañana.
And más o menos. Muchas mañanas, no todas. Ok. Una otra pregunta. Okay, let's see another pregunta to practice both things. So, ¿qué quisiste hacer, right, este año que no pudiste? What does it mean that?
What do you want to do? Or yeah, what did you do? Sorry, what did you want to do this year, but you weren't able to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yo ugh. I really need to practice.
You remember? You need
I want to say quise.
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 Yo quise.
It's the E. Yo quise. I've forgotten to travel.
Viajar.
Viajar. Yo quise viajar a otros países.
Muy bien. I wanted to travel to other countries. Yo quise viajar a otros países. So you need to practice ir, and you need to practice for now, querer in the past. You're good, I think, with the regular ones.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to work on your regulars. Okay. A ver, otra pregunta. ¿Tuviste un perro de niño? The niño is as a child.
Did I have a dog as a child?
Sí.
Yeah. No. Tuve, no tuve un perro de niño, pero yo tuve un gato.
Gato. Muy bien. But I had a child. Okay. Then, sugerir, preferir, servir. Tú, por ejemplo, con conducir. Tú condujiste a tu trabajo hoy.
Sí, conduje a trabajar hoy. Can I say that? Trabajar hoy. Trabajo hoy.
Work, yeah. Hoy, muy bien. Now you one question to see if you have.
Scroll down just a touch. I had a question and I forgot it.
Yeah, we can.
I guess I can look myself. ¿Cuándo fue, ¿cuándo fue la última vez que dijiste mentira?
Una
Mentira.
mentira, like a lie. Una mentira, a lie. And la última vez que dije una mentira fue ayer. Yo digo mentiras piadosas. You know what I mean, that? Mercy lies.
Yes, mercy lies.
Which would be white lies in English, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in Spanish, it's like a mercy lie, like not to hurt the other person. No.
¿Qué dijiste?
No recuerdo. And, ¿qué más? One more maybe we can do. And you do one more. You need to practice yourself.
Yeah. ¿Pudiste what do I want to say? ¿Pudiste ir?
Pudiste, you mean? Were you able to?
Yeah. Pudiste ir? Your friends. To go out with your friends.
Amigos? Salir?
Amigos.
Means salir.
Sí. Salir. To go.
¿Con amigos?
Con amigos.
Sí.
Yeah, I was gonna say este año, this year.
Sí. Pude ir a restaurantes. Pude ir a restaurant. Pude go to restaurants. Pude ir.
Pusiste tu mascarilla.
Yeah. Muy bien. ¿Te pusiste tu máscara? Sí. Me puse la máscara. Pero no para comer. Not to eat.
But you didn't eat.
No, but not to eat. I am asked to eat.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay, muy bien. So now, you remember, the best way is to do your own questions, but also you can practice pre-made questions, like we always do. And so, let's do, oh, I forgot someone overdid this. Okay, homework. Let's do this. And at the end, this one, you see. Entonces, ¿cuándo fue la última vez que pudiste tomar un día de descanso, ese day off?
La última vez que
Yo pude, right?
Pude. Tomar
un día de descanso.
Un día de descanso fue la semana pasada.
Ok, ¿por qué quisiste aprender español? ¿Fue por tu trabajo o por qué?
Why do you want to learn Spanish? Learn Spanish? Yo quise aprender español porque yo quiero vivir en España.
Yeah. ¿Cuándo, you see, I'm doing a follow-up question. ¿Cuándo vas a ir a España? That's future, right? ¿Cuándo vas a ir a España?
When will I go to Spain? Yeah. Yo espero ir next year.
¿El próximo año?
Próximo año.
Muy bien. ¿Qué parte de España?
En Madrid.
Madrid. Oh. ¿Alguna vez fuiste a España?
Nosotros fuimos en España hace 2 años pasada.
¿Quién es nosotros? ¿Tu esposa y tú, you mean? Mi esposa y yo.
Okay. Sí, yeah, mi esposo y mí.
Okay, perfecto. Entonces, one more question and ¿dónde fuiste? No, ¿dónde fuiste? ¿Alguna vez anduviste por la avenida Michigan en Chicago?
Sí, anduve in Michigan,
Avenida,
Avenida, Michigan.
¿cuándo?
I want to say every December.
Anduve por Avenida Michigan en last December, el diciembre pasado,
Diciembre pasado.
para comprar regalos de Navidad.
Sí. Sí. Yo
What are you trying to say? Anduve.
I bought.
Compré. Remember comprar?
Comprar. Yo compré regalos.
De Navidad.
Christmas gifts. Gotcha. Yes.
Yo compré regalos de Navidad. Well, can you see now the idea of this? Of the following up the questions? So I want you to do that with your language partner.
Okay.
Or to ask those questions. You can show these notes if you want to them so they understand, okay?
Okay.
Well, thank you for your time. And I will see you next week.
Okay. Thank you, Mara.
And so, hold on, let me stop the recording.